most people think of gifted children, they probably picture someone reading before they're potty trained. Somebody doing calculus while their classmates memorize multiplication tables. That is not what giftedness looks like for everyone, especially girls. I was 18 months old when my mom was first told I might be gifted. I was at a routine pediatrician visit. I was bored listening to my mom and the doctor's chit-chat, so I started acting out the phone conversations I heard at the front desk. That's when the pediatrician turned to my mom and said, "I think you're raising a gifted child." I learned to read in kindergarten, like my classmates, but within a year of learning, I had devoured Harry Potter. All 7 books. I did well academically, but it wasn't until the pandemic, when I did online school, that my mom started thinking, maybe the pediatrician was onto something. She saw I finished my work way before my classmates, and I spent my free time binge-watching political documentaries and rapid prototyping inventions like an accessible voting booth out of cardboard boxes for my stuffed animals. The summer after first grade, I built a Saturn V Lego rocket set. It's designed for those 14 and up and has over 1,900 pieces. I also asked for unusual Christmas presents, like a purple globe, and a model of the female reproductive system. When my mom mentioned my quirks to my teachers, they were dismissive. Even my dad gave my mom the side eye when she insisted on getting me tested for giftedness. Being gifted isn't about being smart or advanced. It's a type of neurodiversity. Gifted people's brains process information in ways that are different from the neurotypical. As a result, gifted people experience the world in unique ways. Up to 5% of the population is gifted, and 0.1% of the population is profoundly gifted, meaning they have an IQ of 145 and up. As I learned just shy of my 8th birthday, I'm part of that tiny group, although my mom refuses to tell me my IQ, which is probably for the best, even if it's super annoying. What's even more annoying? Giftedness in girls is often overlooked or diagnosed later than in boys because the way it manifests is different. Gifted girls are like emojis. We have a wide range of emotions and can be easily misunderstood. We are often polite and people-pleasing, despite our boredom. We may stay up creating screenplays with our friends, or we stay up crying as we replay a painful moment from the day over and over again. We tend to develop verbal skills faster than boys, and we can be emotionally intense, especially at night. We are great collaborators, and our creativity is often artistic. I love ballet, acting, and comedy. The bluer the better. One time, I joked to my parents that you know what? Not appropriate. When we're assertive, we're told to raise our hands, and we usually do, as we mentally correct our teacher's grammar, or as we solve a plot hole in our favorite crime drama. When a gifted boy acts out, teachers and parents are more likely to pass it off as, "That's a future tech founder." I now attend Las Vegas' only school for gifted youth, Nasri Academy. I'm also part of Reno's Davidson Academy Young Scholars program for the profoundly gifted. But even in gifted spaces, which I know I'm very lucky to be part of, gifted girls are often overlooked and underestimated. I'm one of just 5 girls in my middle school. Most research on gifted children focuses on gifted boys, who are more likely to display their giftedness in obvious ways. These behaviors catch teachers' attention. Studies show that teachers are more likely to nominate boys for gifted programs or suggest they get tested. Gifted girls who excel in verbal abilities and social-emotional intelligence may be seen as smart, but not as gifted. As a result, girls occupy fewer spots in gifted programs. In Understanding Our Gifted, author Joan Smutney discusses some of the challenges of gifted girls, like lower self-esteem, fear of taking risks, and fear of not being accepted by peers. I was curious if these qualities, which I recognized in myself and my fellow gifted female friends, were things that my teachers noticed. So I created a survey on gender-based gifted differences. Educators from my school and a few in other gifted programs participated. In the end, many failed to see that gifted girls handle feedback and criticism differently than gifted boys. Here are some of the results I received. Over 50% did recognize perfectionism in girls, and 58% said that gifted girls are likely to downplay their abilities to fit in. As the educators I surveyed recognize, gifted girls do typically participate in class discussions. But it can be hard for us to get a word in because gifted boys take up a lot of space. For example, in class last year, we were supposed to be taking turns reading aloud, but the boys kept changing the words to act out these ridiculous, cringy jokes. Now, my mom let me read The Handmaid's Tale last year, so I can handle the provocative, but their jokes were just so uncreative. And meanwhile, I never got a chance to read. In reading, writing, and the arts, that's where my giftedness really shines. Have you ever felt unseen and frustrated? At the same time, it's the pits, right? Gifted girls have so many emotions and so much potential crammed into us. We are a lot like a suitcase after a 3-week vacation, just waiting for that moment when the zipper gives and everything inside can burst free. Imagine what could happen if gifted girls were identified, supported, and empowered to tackle big problems like healthcare, climate change, and social inequities. I think we could change the world. Here are some of the first steps we can take to make that a reality. First, let's do more research on gifted girls. It's a shame this is one of the only TEDx talks on this topic. Second, parents and teachers, gifted girls need you to do a better job of recognizing your giftedness and ensuring we take up spaces in gifted programs. According to Jones Money, we should get curious about a girl's potential giftedness when we see behaviors like articulateness and role-playing and storytelling, using high-level words, and gravitating toward the fine and performing arts. Girls' giftedness may show up in less flashy ways, like being a voracious reader, being extremely empathetic, and knowing all the lyrics to a Taylor Swift song after hearing it for the first time. While gifted girls should absolutely be encouraged to pursue STEM careers, it's also time to recognize that we bring way more to the table than just technical skills. These gifts are important and should be celebrated. I can design a website. I'd just rather solve social problems, and then write a song about it. Finally, we need you to address how perfectionism, self-criticism, and emotional intensity can derail us from unleashing our full potential. We also need you to truly value our gifts. Gifted guys may be launching us into space, but gifted girls, we have the ability to build the solutions we need right here on Earth. Right now, the world feels like an impossible escape room. All of the clues are in the wrong place, and none of the keys fit. Gifted girls have the creativity, intelligence, and social drive to make a key that gets us out. Before time is up, thank you.